Hi guys, welcome to the video review of the Samsung S5 Neo. This is what we could call another version of the Galaxy S5, as it is very similar but not exactly the same. This is a 5.1-inch phone and you can get it in gold, white or black. It has a plastic cover with a texture very similar to a Band-Aid. Even if the cover is all made in plastic, the material feels nice in the hands and it has a texture which grips a little bit to the hands, just enough so the phone won't slide easily from your hands. Overall, the phone seems well assembled and built, even if pretty much everything is made of plastic. Of course, we can't compare it to the smartphones made in aluminum, but for a smartphone made in plastic, it is quite good. With this phone, you still have the conventional volume up and down buttons on the left and the power button on the right. They have a clicky feel to them and the volume up and down buttons have to be pressed a little bit hard. Some people may think they are too clicky, but I think it is okay as we get that click feedback whenever we press them, so we are sure the button was properly pressed. This phone comes with IP67, which is dust resistant and waterproof with a maximum depth of about 1 meter. What is nice about the S5 Neo is that the ports are now encapsulated compared to the ports on the S5. With this phone you don't need to cover them. The S5 Neo have a different processor than the original S5. The S5 Neo uses the Samsung Exynos 7580 octa-core with a maximum clock speed of 1.6 GHz compared to the Qualcomm Snapdragon 801 used in the S5, which is a quad-core with a maximum clock speed of 2.5 GHz. The performance of both of these phones is quite similar, but overall it seems that the S5 is a little bit faster than the S5 Neo. However, even if the S5 is faster than the S5 Neo, I didn't have a lot of problems with lag with this phone. Everything runs smoothly, even the games. The S5 Neo comes with 2GB of RAM, 16GB of internal storage, which is a downgrade compared to the S5, as the S5 can go up to 32GB of internal storage. It also has an expandable microSD card slot of up to 128GB. You get a removable 2800 mAh battery, which lasts for about 1 day when you watch videos and play games. For a person which don't use its phone intensively, it can last for about 2 days. In the S5 Neo, they removed some features of the old S5. It doesn't have USB 3.0 anymore, the infrared transmitter, the fingerprint reader, and the MHL connectivity, which is basically the video and audio output for the smartphones and other portable devices. However, even if we don't have these features on the S5 Neo, they are not that important. In my opinion, they are just some extra features that are nice to have, especially for the fingerprint reader. One thing that it still have is the heart rate monitor on the back. When we talk about the camera, the S5 Neo is better than the old S5. It has a 16 megapixel with an aperture of 1.9 rear camera compared to the S5, which had a 16 megapixel with an aperture of 2.2 rear camera. The picture quality is quite good, the colors are just a little bit paler and the pictures are very sharp. Sometimes when I wanted to take close-up shots or macro shots, the autofocus was a bit slow. But when we get in darker environments, the autofocus deteriorates quite a bit. With the rear camera you get some camera modes such as the automatic, panorama, continuous shooting, HDR and Pro mode. In the Pro mode you can set up the exposure, the ISO and the white balance. The delay between each picture is very short. The front camera is also an improvement compared to the S5. It is now a 5 megapixel camera with an aperture of f1.9 compared to the old 2 megapixel f2.4 camera of the Galaxy S5. The picture quality for selfies is also pretty good. This phone has a 1920 by 1080 Super AMOLED display. This screen have great contrast, as with the Super AMOLED display, the light on the screen comes from each individual pixel rather than a backlight. When it needs to create a black color, it simply dims or turns off the needed pixels, which give true blacks. This screen also has a large color gamut, which is quite good but can make the images look very vibrant or oversaturated. One of the weak points of the S5 Neo is definitively the speaker. It gets quite loud, but the sound quality is very bad. It is one of the worst smartphone speakers I have ever listened to. The high and the mids are way too powerful and the lows are just terrible. The phone is shipped with Android 5.1.1 with Samsung own TouchWiz UI on top. At this moment you can upgrade the phone at Android 6.0.1. I know a lot of people don't like TouchWiz, but personally I think it looks good. With the new updates from Samsung, TouchWiz looks better than before. The design is minimalist, so everything is pretty easy to find in the settings. Overall, I think this is a good phone, but when we compare it to other phones in the market, it becomes quite hard to recommend the S5 Neo as the best one to get. I will say it is good for people which want a simple interface and something quite easy to use, but for a geeky person, this phone lacks features compared to its competition on the market. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you in the next video. Bye bye and take care. Hey guys, welcome to the video review of the LG G4. Hey guys, welcome to this video. In this video I will show you 5 Android games that may interest you. The goal of these games is very simple and they are very easy to play. All the games shown are free in the Play Store.